hyper efficiency from you in this game. What allowed you within the flow to just get such, on balance, positive rhythm looks every time you took a shot?
I think we did a really good job tonight of playing to our identity offensively. Like, everyone was aggressive, everyone was playing within themselves, and everyone was like moving around the ball. Like when I had drove, if I seen a gap, like guys were moving into space, guys were ready to attack, ready to shoot, ready to make the next play. And it didn't always go our way, but I think it kept their defense as a whole, which is a really good defense, in a bind and what to pick and choose. And we found that balance offensively tonight. And we didn't have our best shooting night, but we played the right way for the whole game. It felt like, and we looked pretty good out there offensively.
I know every game is different, but oftentimes, a game 3 on the road when you're up 2-0 can be extremely challenging.
Yeah.
What was key for you all in the first quarter? You guys delivered a punch, they threw one back, and you guys were able to just. What was key there?
Yeah, we knew coming into tonight, we typically struggle with these games. Last year, we go down big in Memphis, game 3. We lose game 3 in the Denver series. We lose game 3 in the Minnesota series by 40, and we lose game 3 in Indiana. So yeah, we really wanted to come out here and just put our best foot forward, across the board, really play to our identity, and just see where we were, give ourselves a chance. And I think in those games, we veered from who we were throughout the course of the game and kind of put ourselves in a hole in different ways. But tonight, I think we did a really good job of just staying present. Obviously, we know the history of our us in game 3s, but just being present, being in the moment, and doing what we can on each possession, and then see where it took us, and we looked pretty good doing so.
Shai, the lip reading experts caught you on the way to the bench after that one drive, saying, "I don't need it." That emotion, is that pent up frustration with the way you've been defended this series? And where does that emotion come from?
Nothing at all. I just think they missed the call, but I scored anyway, so I was like, it's okay, don't worry about it. Yeah, nothing more than that.
And, this much is obvious, but Mark mentioned it, when Dub goes down, it sort of changes the calculus of the offense and the way this needs to look to win in game 3. What goes on for you internally when you know you're going to miss Dub for some time?
Nothing really, honestly speaking. Regardless, and I'm very fortunate to be in this position, but regardless of who's out there, I get to go out there and play my game. That's just the role I have on this team, and my coaches and teammates do a really good job of letting me be in my space. And now with our second ball handler out, naturally the end of the shot clock plays, and naturally the start of possessions the ball's gonna be in my hands more, just naturally without Dub out there. So it's a little bit more opportunity. But regardless, with that opportunity, I try not to press more or press less, just let the game tell me what to do, and usually it works pretty well.
Hey, Shai, Elliot by Sports 360 AZ. Obviously, your bench has been great all year long, and they were, again, throughout this entire playoffs so far. How much comfort does that give you to continue to have nights like you did tonight?
Yeah, it's a huge luxury we have. We have guys that make a difference every night. We have guys that don't play every night and somehow go out there and make a difference being cold all series. Jared McCain and Aaron Wiggins were huge tonight in their minutes, big time. Wiggs came in after not playing for what felt like the last month of the season in the first couple games of the playoffs, made a play for a big 3 that we needed being down 8 or 7. And then Jared McCain came in the second quarter and it was just huge offensively, 7 points in a row, whatever it was. So those guys across the board just being ready, and that's something that coach emphasizes heavily throughout the year, and it showed up big tonight. And it's one of those things that we just we tack off every day, just making sure guys are ready, and it paid off.
15 And that's why Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the MVP, because just add another assist to his box score, teeing us up perfectly as Jared McCain now joins us on Thunder Playoff post-game. And Jared, Shai was just talking about the fact that you stepped into this game and made such a huge impact, even though rotationally it's been a little different for you over the first 2 games. What was your mentality coming into tonight's game, knowing it was going to be a little bit of a different setting in this one?
Yeah, I mean, just coming in and being ready. I've been, I've always wanted to play in the playoffs, and so I'm always going to be ready and prepare myself like I am playing 40 minutes no matter what. So being able to stay ready and coach telling me to be ready, I knew coming in the game I just got to execute whatever coach says, and the rest of the game will come.
Jared, you just mentioned about just kind of that mentality of just doing your job and kind of what you want to do, but you and Aaron both, it's kind of remarkable to me how you guys can come in and just kind of do your job. And you didn't say like, all right, this is my chance in the playoffs to show everybody how good I am. How do you kind of get to that point where it's like, I'm just going to go out there, play my game, and do my job and help my team?
Yeah, I put my trust in just my work. I work really hard to be where I'm at now, and I put a lot of trust in my breath and being able to go out there and just come back to my breath and calm down and be poised out there. So it's awesome to just be able to play and just be myself out there, because that's what Coach exactly wants from me. And so to go out there and just be myself and have fun, it's a blessing.
Jared, every game in this series has taken on kind of a new life of its own. What was different for you guys in this game that you were anticipating as a different challenge coming into Game 3?
Yeah, coming into Game 3, especially in their house, we knew it was going to be really physical. Me coming in not really playing like the real minutes of the game, I feel like I had to be real extra physical with that. So I think it worked out perfectly, and I was able to execute the game plan defensively. And but the physicality was definitely up from game 1 and 2.
Jared, I want to ask you about that finish. I don't remember which big it was that you finished over earlier. I think it might have been your first bucket. It was like you were kind of trapped under the bucket and you finished with like a left hand. It seemed like an impossible way to get the ball up on the basket. I mean, how do you you're very creative with those types of finishes. How'd you kind of figure that one out?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like ever since I was a kid playing up with my brother, like you have to find like these random ways to score when it's against your brother, because he's 5 years older than me, so he was blocking my shot. So just finding creative ways, and I've done that throughout my whole life. So being a smaller guard, you gotta find those ways to finish around the rim.
Jared, Royce and I have been talking a lot about Shai and just the performance that he had, and we're running out of adjectives to try to figure out a way to describe what we're seeing on the court. As someone who is in practice with him and has now learned a lot about him, how would you describe what we saw out here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've heard every single adjective describe him too. I think I just think it's awesome. That's one of my favorite words of all time. It's awesome, and to watch him play and to watch him just do what he does out there, it's legendary, and it's really just cool to be a part of it and be able to be up close and see it in practice and see it translate to the game. It's a blessing to just be a part of it.
Is there anything that you're taking away from what you're seeing just in what he does in the dark that shows up out here on the court?
Yeah, just being poised. I think whenever we've talked about it a lot, but he never gets high, never gets low. It's just even. And I think coming into a game like this, I try and emulate that as well, just being able to stay even no matter what happens, and it really does help. And so asking him questions about that, about what he changes during playoffs, if he does any changes, that's been a great help for me.
It sounds like you're already speaking that 0-0 language, Jared. Speaking of, I mean, talking about being even, you guys are up 3-0 in a series, and this was a tough challenge today. Obviously, the Suns were desperate to win on their home floor, but they're going to be even more desperate now in a closeout scenario. So, where's your mindset going into the day off tomorrow, kind of preparing for Game 4, and what do you expect from the Suns in Game 4?
Yeah, I mean, I know Coach will have it on the board 0-0 for sure.
Yeah.
So just being able to, I've never been in this situation, but being able to take what I can from each player. I know AC will be helping with that as well. Just being that 0-0 mindset, coming into the game, it's going to be a new game. You can't worry about what's happened in the past, just being present with what's going on, and that'll help us execute.
Yeah, I got to get back to baseline and turn the page. But as far as this game goes, Jared, great game. Congrats so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right, let's get you back over to the press room so we can hear from Chet Holmgren, who's